Oh yeah, like all this that's like that's the reason one of the big reasons a lot of the streamers are not profitable
Yeah.
is one, they're overspending on content. And two, they have to have the fucking hardware for all that shit.
Yeah.
They'd have to have the servers, all the fucking storage. But mostly those servers, like they'll have fucking crazy CPUs on there with like 128 cores, and then they're like interwoven 4 of them
Yeah.
on one system. It's like,
Yeah.
goddamn, they'll spend like, here's the thing is that type of hardware, whew, expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Even for what you get from it.
Yeah.
Because it's made for big ass companies. They charge those companies that make it, AMD, Intel, are gonna charge out the ass.
Yep.
And then here's the other thing people don't consider is just because you have a file over here on the server and someone wants to use it, well, guess what? You have to transcode it. And transcoding is a bitch.
Yeah. It's just
Especially if you're using like 4K master files.
Yeah.
Because you usually for 4K, the way the codecs are now set up for like films is it's going to be a 4K resolution. It's going to be H.265, which is more intensive to decode, to encode and decode. And then also it involves HDR. So then you also have to have HDR tone mapping. So it's so like the reason I know this is like if you build a Plex server and you want to do it with 4K, you basically have to have like the most powerful CPU you can get.
Yeah.
Because it has to do all that. And that will just be able to get like a few streams. To get like 4 or 5 streams of 4K transcoded HD.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why when we were saying hosting like the files and I'll just edit from there. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. Because it's so like it's not built for that. Like,
well, yeah, neither one of our internets on both sides. Like my upload is shit, your download and upload is shit.
and like the files are so huge, like it's just not gonna be possible. Really.
Oh yeah, I just got like the fucking cheapest fucking Plex thing I can get. I mean, cheapest Synology NAS I can get.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough out here. It's tough out here for these streaming service.
No, fuck them.
Is it?
Huh?
Is it?
What?
Is it fuck them?
Yeah. Because I want to.
Yeah, because I know the writer strike is happening. Not really. I don't know 100% like what's going on. I know they're not getting paid as much as they want or should. So.
Oh yeah, it's like significantly lower from what I've seen.
Okay.
So the old contracts, of course, only apply to television and theatrical.
Yeah.
With the streaming services, they pull the same shit that kind of happens with most industries at some point, like within entertainment, where I've heard some people talk about is whenever you had the era of like MTV, like late MTV, where it was still doing music videos, and when YouTube started, there was this whole kind of like division of what rates were based on if it was going to get on MTV versus if it was going to be on the internet. So the ones that were going on the internet, the companies would be like, oh, it's just going on the internet. It's not going to be seen by that many people. We're going to give you a smaller budget because, it's not going to MTV.
Yeah.
Well, then when MTV died, and that's where all the music videos where they're like, well, it goes on the internet. Here's what our rates have always been. So this is how much we're going to pay. And they never lifted it up.
Okay.
So like, that's why when people talk about like music video industry, like you don't see people who specifically do music videos on a big scale continuously. Like you don't see Hype Williams anymore.
Yeah.
You don't see anyone like that because you don't get consistent budgets like that to be able to do those music videos that pay you.
Yeah.
Typically, if you want to have a nice music video, well, a lot of that stuff comes out of your share because typically the director is going to get 10% of the net budget.
Yeah.
But if you want to add like, oh, we only have a $100,000 budget, which only we budgeted X amount for a Panasonic EVA1 or something. And you're like, well, I want to shoot this on Alexa. Well, they're going to be like, well, I'm not giving you more money. You'll just have to take it out of your part.
So what's happening with the strike?
So what's happening with the strike is a similar thing of whenever it went to streaming services, they're like, oh, this is like an unproven ground. So do us a favor and we'll look out for you on the other end. And of course, they never look out for you on the other end. So
they pay them at a lower rate because of what has always been.
Yeah. And also here's the other thing that people don't consider about like the film industry in general is the way things work now is a production company doesn't want to pay you until they get money from a studio. So like if you have an idea for a film, if you go to try to pitch it to a production company, they're going to say, great idea, bring us a spec script. So then you're going to spend months putting together a script to bring it back. They'll give you notes, and then you'll have to go redo it again. And here's the thing: you're not getting paid for any of this because they're not going to pay you because they don't have the money to pay you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to come out of pocket when they know if they have the script together and everything, and they take it to a studio, and the studio likes it, they will pay them for it, and then at that point you'll get some money.
Yeah.
So most of your money as a writer comes on the back end. Well, streaming services, you get like no back end right now.
Yeah.
So like if you wrote a bunch of television episodes, whenever something would change with the TV show, whether it get like syndicated or it would change from one network to another, you would get like these big payouts, which you don't get that with streaming services. Because you have like there's a certain model for how much you get based on numbers.
Yeah.
For like your residuals and participations, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with TV as I am with film when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
But with streaming, apparently they get like cents.
Yeah.
Versus like with TV, if you've done a bunch of episodes of TV, you get like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas with streaming services, for the same amount of work, you get like tens of dollars.
Man, pay these writers, please. These writers are one of the only reasons why a lot of these shows are good. Like Succession show is amazing. It's not because the cinematographers, which they do a great job, but these writers, man, are different, special. And it sucks that they don't get paid it. Like, it sucks. I see why they're doing the strike.
And here's the thing is the production companies, a lot that go, oh, we don't make that much money. Streaming's not even profitable. It's like Netflix now makes a profit. HBO just made their first profit.
Yeah.
It's like y'all are on the way.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is most of the budget goes to production cost. And here's the other thing is whenever they actually write them, a streaming service will have these writers come in for like cheap because they won't even greenlight something until they have a full spec for the season.
Yeah.
So they'll bring in like these small teams of like 2 or 3 writers. They'll get like a small money up front, have to write an entire season, and then they typically don't get paid much more after that.
Yeah.
Because they don't pay them a big up front because they're like, we don't know if we're going to even greenlight this.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. Whole industry needs a revamp. Is that funny?
Yeah.
You think that's funny? You think writers getting paid is funny?
No, it's the fact that you know how this shit works. There's
Yeah,
not going
I
to be no revamp.
I know. I mean, there was a writer's strike before, wasn't it?
Last one was 2007, 2008.
Yeah. And didn't that work? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, it made some differences, but there's a lot going on with this one where it comes into, I know one of the big sticking points, because apparently there's like a few big sticking points between the motion picture, I can't remember what it's called, but basically kind of like the production companies, the studios together with the PGA, which is Production Guild.
Yeah.
They kind of have like their front, whatever conglomerate thing, like how there's like the union or whatever for the other stuff. They have like their version of that. And like there's a few like sticking points where like they didn't even negotiate back on. One of them had to do with like minimum staff for writing rooms, where at least had to be at least 6 writers per writing room. There was another one had to do with like how the residuals be paid, and then I can't remember what the other one was. I didn't prep for this part,
Yeah. It's all right.
so I can't really tell you on that one.
I know one thing they got denied from the Writers Guild was AI.
Yeah, they're trying to like have protections where AI machine learning programs cannot use their work
for training or
for training purposes. And then I think there was like another thing about, I can't remember, about you can't use it for writing or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah. That shit got denied quick.
Oh yeah, well, because as I discussed in our couple episodes ago, what's gonna happen is when there's cheaper alternatives and you don't have to deal with people like creatives, how temperamental we can be. They're gonna choose those options when they can.
Yeah.
Once they get there.
And I say I respect the writers.
I say I respect them too, but it doesn't matter if you respect them. It matters if these corporations.
I'm saying how I think about them.
I respect the fuck out of them.
So I'm saying they can try to do that. I don't think it's going to work out because of how much I respect the writers. It's
not about how much you don't run Hollywood.
No, but I'm saying we don't have to go around back here, but I'm saying I'm sure the studios are going to try to do this. I'm 100% with you there. But
All
I'm
it
saying,
takes is one studio to do it and be successful, like make.
but
be
that's what I'm
successful. That's what it
saying. Like,
takes.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's going to be like just whole. It's going to be replaced. I think it might work. It might happen. It might be successful, but it's not going to replace actual writers because of how much I respect artists.
Well, here's the other thing that could happen, because here we
Yeah.
go back to this argument.
I know we don't have
Is
to.
even if Hollywood does it, some third party who's not affiliated with Hollywood could start making shit using AI
Yeah.
because they're not restricted by union agreements. And then if they start making profit and it keeps becoming more and more profitable, then Hollywood to compete will then start. It's kind of like the whole
Yeah.
thing of like, if they have nukes, well, guess what? We need nukes too.
So I'm not mad at using AI to help write. I think it can help writers a lot, actually. I think writing is not necessarily the process, like the not necessarily the technical aspect of writing, which is what makes it good. I think is the creativity of the writer. So like getting an AI to write, I don't see the issue with that, because at the end of the day, you still need a writer for it to be good. Like if you think
Right
of,
now.
like, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you think about like, why do you like think about your favorite song, favorite artist, favorite movie or whatever? Just think about why you like it. It's not because they hit every technical aspect of it. It's because of the experiences that creator or writer has been through to put this out, and for you to either like relate to.
You're such an optimistic person.
I'm just either like to relate to it, or you can just see like the creative spark. It's not because they hit every technical aspect, and I don't think it's hard to replicate that. I don't think AI will be able to replicate 100% all the time why you like things. I think there's going to be artists, like human artists and writers, that are going to keep replicating, or not replicating, but keep being creative, and you can keep liking it. I don't think you're going to be replaced by AI. That was my whole argument last time.
And I keep going. You're so optimistic.
It's not optimism.
Here's the thing. You're like, this is your view. You're like, we must join the machine. I sit here like, we must return to monkey.
See, listen, I'm not saying join the machine. I'm not saying join the machine at all.
You're joining the machine. I'm saying we must return to monkey.
See that. This is why I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying join the machine. I think the complete opposite. This is why I'm saying we're not going to be replaced. Because we're not going to be, the machine's not going to be us.
Oh,
The machine's going to be the machine. And it's going to come either way you like it. It's going to come.
pause.
Yeah, it is pause. It's going to come either way you like it. Oh my gosh. I mean, is it pause? Is it pause? Because like AI is like,
Well, you said it's gonna come. So,
yeah, I mean, girls come.
do you see any women here? Good
But yeah, we
lord.
don't have to go down the AI talk again.
It's always happens at this point.